So this is round number 5 with green-black rock. Currently 2-2. Lost to Esper Control and Tron. Beat an Abzan Coco list without Devoted Druid. It was more of a Aristocrats list. And beat the Mirror. So this hand is pretty rough against like Tron, but it's pretty good against everything else. I will keep this. Like this hand's decent against Burn. I go turn 1 Fatal Push, turn 2 Goyf. Marsh Flats could be a lot of things. This could be Abzan. Could be a Death Shadow build. Could be Esper Control again. Could be Tokens, which would be a terrible matchup for us here. Especially with this particular hand. This hand is not well equipped to beat Tokens. It looks like we're up against some sort of black-white Tokens deck. At least a black-white deck so far. What am I playing? Skooz, Goyf, or Bob. I assume my opponent has not cast a spell, and they're white-black, which are the best removal colors, so I assume they have a removal spell. If I play Dark Confidant, they're going to kill it. If I play Goyf, they're going to kill it. Skooz are going to kill it. Which one do I want to die? I think I just want to play Goyf here, have Goyf die, and then play Liliana and go from there. Bob is a higher ceiling for if it doesn't die, but I'm confident this will die here. Don't make me a liar, opponent. There we go. Oh, she got a swamp there. I have the forest in hand. That way, I was thinking just extra green mana for Skooz, but I would like triple black to be able to, at some point, play Liliana and a Goyf for Liliana and a push if I need to. Kaya can be a little rough here. Just play 2 threats. Hopefully one of them sticks, and then I can attack Kaya with the other. What I don't want to see is a Veil push. That'd kind of ruin my day. Okay. Souls are fine, especially with a Goyf in play. Skooz in play. That was rough. Probably one of my worst possible draws. What am I doing here? I'm eating souls. I can push a spirit. So if I play Thoughtseize, I'm also going to play push this turn. If I push a spirit, I'll be attacking with Skooz and Goy and Bob. They can block Bob. In that case, Kaya will go down to 3, because Kaya can ult right now. Just doesn't deal very much damage. I could play a Liliana the Veil and start upticking, and honestly I think that's probably the best thing I can do here. Because my hand is very redundant, and I don't really know what my opponent's hand is. Empty the pits. Okay, so up against a black-white tokens deck running Kaya. Yeah, Kaya isn't scary at the moment. She will be at some point. But they do have to invest a bunch of resources to protect her, and I don't have to worry about that as much. Okay, well, now they have the resources to protect her. Post-board will get access to Liliana the Last Hope, and that'll be very good in this matchup. Sebastian, I think last game, if we drew like a tracker early, I think we could have run away with that game, but we didn't. A tracker or a Veil early, I think, could have run away with that game, but instead we just had the Goyf and more Fulminator mages. Sure. So Kaya is kind of like a red Shrine of the Burning Legion type card. Like it's just an eventual threat that'll eventually kill us, but I really can't worry about it right now. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Sometimes your opponents draw better than you. You can play everything as well as you can. I probably made a couple mistakes there. I haven't played Green-Black Rock in a very long time. My problem right now is Scavenging Ooze is not scary. I can't attack it even into these spirits, it will just die. So I think I just need to pass turn and have my Field of Ruin in my hand here. Yep. Yeah, Tarmogoyf is not as good as he used to be right now. Which really makes me sad. I miss my 2-mana 5/6. On something good. Trophy. Okay, Trophy deals with Kaya. They want to trade 2 spirits for my Skoos here. I'll take that because my next Skoos will be a 3/3. If they had a manland in play, I'd play Field of Ruin here, but they don't, so it's not really worth it. I'm just top decking better than they are at the moment, although they do have me on a pretty short clock with these 5 spirits and my own Dark Confidant. Yeah, they should just do the math here and realize just try to end the game as fast as possible is their best chance of winning here. Interesting. I don't think Liliana the Veil is even scary at this particular moment. Okay. Well, I'll Eat the Lingering Souls. I can drop Veil and Edict, but they just lose a Spirit. That doesn't really seem relevant here. What do you guys think? Yeah, this isn't a great spot. I'm almost thinking of Collective Brutalitying just to gain some life here. But if that's the case, I just want to hold on to it. Yeah, my opponent should not be attacking Liliana. Again, I'll make a trade here. 2 spirits, half of the Lingering Souls for Scoos, mostly just to grow my other Scoos a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm fine with passing turn here. Yeah, opponent held up Field of Ruin instead of flashing any other souls there too. Okay, I'm fine with this. One reason why I held on to the Brutality was to change combat math a bit. Okay. Don't love that. See what I draw. Okay. So we're dead to a Collective Brutality, but other than that, our opponent will have to respect our own clock here. Okay, so they have a Collective Brutality. Or they're just hoping Bob kills me. Okay. Bob, be kind. One off. I don't agree with our opponent's lines there, but they got rewarded for it, and we got punished. Don't mind Spellbomb here. Veil seems super medium in this matchup, but our opponent took such lengths to attack her. I think maybe I'll keep her in. Trophy's also pretty medium, but I assume they have Planeswalkers I can hit. Maybe Decay's probably just a little better here. Can trim Field of Ruin probably. Let's mull that. I'll keep this. Turn 2 Bob on the play is a pretty powerful start to any grindy matchup. We do have a board wipe. We have Scavenging Ooze as a backup threat. This hand's fine. This is not a good matchup. What card do I bottom? bottom of land. Hopefully he'll draw into more here. Bob should help with that. Yeah, I just think Languish and Maelstrom Pulse are too powerful in this particular matchup to really not run, to not keep in my hand. If Bob lives, I think we're favored to win this game. If Bob doesn't, I'll just have to deal with that when that comes. It's a good sign. Last time I played Goy first instead of Bob because I felt like my opponent had a removal spell in hand. This particular time, they didn't have 2 turns where they passed without doing anything. So this is just in the dark. Last time I had a bit of information based on what my opponent was playing. This Inquisition is going to take either Skews or Pulse, obviously. Interesting they took Skews over Pulse. Probably because it's redundant with Languish, but... Okay. Thank you, Bob. Glad I bottomed a land here. Even with removing a land, running at 23 is still flooding pretty hard. Okay. I've only drawn lands this entire game so far. Pressure my opponent's life total. With the Languish in hand, I can choose when to blow up all the fairy tokens, but beyond that, I'm pretty far behind this game. I'm rolled to 6, and I've only drawn lands the entire game so far. Got the 2 land hand, and... Okay, well, Languish is gone. Treetop's pretty good in this spot. I'm going to Field of Ruin my opponent's Field of Ruin. So they can't blow up my man lands. I'll pass. Finally, a non-land card. Unfortunately, it's one of the worst cards in this matchup, and especially in this particular moment. Skews would have been much better there because they could have eaten the Lingering Souls in their graveyard. Things look a little grim here. Yeah. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. We just have a Field of Ruin in hand. Okay, so they're going to attack with 3. So they are at 11, so I can pressure the life total a little bit with my man lands. Okay, that's for Treetop. So I can attack with both man lands, or I can drop a Liliana of the Veil. Veil just seems... The only reason I kept Veil in this matchup is, one, I was running on a sideboard run, and I don't have a sideboard plan for black-white tokens. You don't build You don't build a sideboard with plans with this in mind. And 2, my opponent was so afraid of her. Alright, I think I'm just going to attack with both my man lands, pressure their life total a little bit. Maybe I can steal a game, how they stole a game last game. Yep, killing Treetop. Oh. That's an easy decision. So knock him down to 8. Knock him down to 7. No. Sebastian, I've not seen that. If you would like, link it here and I'll pop it up and look it over. If you have access to it. That seems pretty sweet. So I fall down to 10. I might be able to steal this game here. Okay, they can attack for 2, 4, 7, knock me down to 3. I can attack, they can block for it. No, I think I have to play Kalidas here. Just thin my deck a little bit. I know this makes my top deck trackers worse, but this means next turn I can do like a Liliana Abrupt Decay if I draw into Abrupt Decay. Kalidas isn't even good here. Seed Drawing will be much better. Not that I run white, but... Okay. Yep, that's game. Alright. I have enough of that. Alright, we found the tokens. Let me know on YouTube if I made any mistakes there. Let me know how bad I am. Let me know when I punt. I'd love to know it. Also give me feedback on my list here. Never got a chance to play him, but I'm a real big fan of Gonti. Lord of Luxury. I think he's pretty underrated right now, especially with the control being pretty heavy in the format. What is this awesome Sultai list? So 7th place at an IQ, which could mean anything, because I've been to an IQ that only had 8 people in it. Ooh, Coco. 20 lands is really greedy for the Coco player, especially with 2 Shalais and 2 trackers and 3 Knights. Oh, okay, I hate that list. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. That should be like a 22 plus land list. Sultai. Snapcaster, Kalidas, Ballista. Vraska. Vraska's pretty good when you're running Bitter Blossom and you're running, where is it? Sword of the Meek. Thopter Foundry. Only 1 Gifts Ungiven? Because Gifts is just going to get Sword. Put Sword in, hope you already have Thopter. I guess I don't know. Oh, no, IQs are kind of a joke. Not all of them. I've been to an IQ. For example, the 10K I won was an IQ. And there's $10,000 of prizes at that match. That event was not a joke. But some IQs, like I've been to one, and it's my first top 8. It was 8 players. I went to one years and years and years ago. Like I said, there was 8 players. So you had, just by showing up, you had a 2 out of 8 chance for getting an invite to the SCG Invitational in Roanoke. So some people win those, some people win the big ones, whatever, they still won it, they earned their trip, that's great. But yeah, IQs aren't always a reliable source for, doesn't mean a deck's good. Because this could have been a 200-person event, this could have been a 20-person event. Like I said, it could have been 8. We know there's at least 8. We don't know beyond that. And 7th out of 8 people isn't great, but 7th out of 200 is phenomenal. Yep, Sword Life, that'd be a pretty good gifts drop, but why only 1 gifts? I guess that's my... Like, if I wanted that, I want to run, I don't know, a few gifts at least to be able to really pull on the power of this. Maybe I should just make a gift Sultai list and play it. I love Life from the Loam, which is a value engine. I love Traverse, that's well known. I like Vraska Golgari Queen. I played her a lot in Standard when I was testing for the Invitational. Those videos are all available on YouTube, by the way, all my green-black testing, along with some spicy Naya dinosaurs. Yeah, I like the Bitter Blossom. Like, I guess I just want to know, like, what is this deck trying to do? I feel like I like looking at a deck list and being like, I know what they're trying to do. They have a clear, concise plan. Yeah, like, I'm just not sure here. So, I mean, they have just powerful Planeswalkers, and that's probably how they... Honestly, this deck probably wins just by playing like a Sultai control deck with a lot of control. Win with Jace and Liana, maybe even Vraska. And Vraska's ult plus Walking Ballista is pretty cute. Like, that's a really clean way to win a game. Along with Bitter Blossom tokens, too. Like, I like that shell, the Planeswalkers and the Bitter Blossom. Just, I guess I'm having the access to Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry is kind of like an oops, I win button, but when you don't, when you just have Sword in your hand, it's pretty bad. If you just have Thopter Foundry, it's not great either. And they're making up for that with having Baubles and a bunch of other artifacts too, including Ballista, but I think I want a little bit more chance of drawing, a little more redundancy, I guess, is what I'd want here. I like what the deck's trying to do, but it's just trying to do 2 different things. Like, if it's a control deck that has this really late in the game Thopter Foundry combo to finish, that's one thing, but I feel like this is a little bit different than that. Yeah, I feel like, honestly, just adding a couple gifts and given, but adding some gifts would make you... This is another situation where 22 lands is not where I want to be in a deck like this. I know I can see 3 Traverse, but they don't even have like Serum Visions, which I'm not a big fan of Serum Visions. I'm not advocating it, but they have Bobble, which is great. So I guess they have 5 cantrips. That's like the equivalent of like running 23.5, 24 lands. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, 24 lands is probably the sweet spot here. 22 just seems a little bit low again, especially, which is probably why they didn't add more gifts. Pulse of Murasa can sometimes get you another land. Well, I do think the format's a little bit fast right now for Pulse of Murasa. That was a card I loved back in some Valakut days. Loam rebuys too. Yep. Without testing this, I just feel like there's no way 22 lands can't be correct, right? It's spicy. This is super spicy. This makes me want to play my Noble Sultai deck list, which will go turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Veil, turn 3 Jace, and kind of try to win the game from there. And that was a really sweet deck. I like that a lot. The problem was that just Jace didn't end up being as good as I hoped. Like, I look at this and I don't think it's tuned. Like, that's my criticism of it. It looks sweet, it looks spicy, it looks sweet. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like a downer on it. I like the look of the list a lot. I just don't think it's well tuned to be a fit not even just tuned for a meta, but I don't think it's well tuned to be efficient in and of itself. Like if it just gold fishing being consistent within its own enacting its own game plan. I do like the Grim Flare out of the board. Actually, like that a lot, especially since like main board you don't have many people can be taking out their Fatal Pushes and their Path to Exiles, and then you can bring in some Grim Flares and get a lot of value out of that. Damping Sphere is really relevant right now against Amulet and Tron and Phoenix. So I like that. Although I will say Damping Sphere, I've never been impressed with that in Traverse and Snap lists. Like it does hurt you a decent amount too. Like if you go Traverse Flare, that costs 4 mana instead of 3. Alright, well, this is my rock list that I was testing. I don't, 4 Field of Ruin can't be correct. It was too awkward, too many percentages at the time. I think I'd just rather have another fetch there, like a Polluted Delta or something. I love the 4 Fulminator Mages, we saw that. I just wish I drew. I guess what I want here, honestly, is like a Siege Rhino. Something that I can keep in against Tron, because Kalitas just really isn't good enough there. As an extra, just a clock to win the game. Gonti's pretty sweet, but I wouldn't run Gonti in Abzan. Because Gonti, Siege Rhino is basically a Gonti that gives you a free Helix 100% of the time, instead of where Gonti's like, oh, sometimes you get a Teferi out of it or a Cryptic Command. I actually like Gonti a lot in Sultai. Alright, I'm going to take a quick little break. Honest Thief, send me your deck list. I want to make sure I can get to that today. So send me your deck list and I'll see what I can do. But I will be back in a little bit.